Fufu, the dedicated stunner for Xuan, has just been released. I've had a few people asking me, will she move up to T0 and be right next to Miyabi? Does Fufu increase her value by that much? And I genuinely don't know the answer to this. Prydwen has just updated their tier list. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the change log. I'm excited. I am hopefully I win my 50-50. Hopefully still should be able to pull the character, I believe, because I was so lucky with Xuan, but I think we're like 20 away from a 5-star, so we'll see how that goes. Add it as a 0.5 stun with a partner tag. Okay, partner tag means that like you typically want to play them with you typically want to play her with Xuan, right? Although she can be used in other teams, her trial even gives her Soldier 11, which she does work in those teams, but for her to perform at a 0.5 stun level, you want her with Xuan. Finds a niche specifically in Xuan, who she buffs way better than anyone else via off-field, aftershock damage and daze, but most importantly, buffs to all of her top stats. Crit, ultimate, and chain attack damage, all of this without any limited W engines needed. Fufu's ability to give extra ultimates over time via her decibel, her decibel increase and decibel refund mechanics are also very strong, in particular with Xuan, while Fufu has flexibility outside of these teams, like I said before, compared to Lighter and Lycon, who perform the best of any of the agents with some of the best DPSs in the game, as well as Trigger, who has more universally strong buffs. Fufu would find herself somewhere in between T1 and T1.5, depending on her teammates outside of Xuan team. So exactly what I said, right? If you're running her with Xuan, she's 0.5. If you're running her in other teams, you would prefer a better stunner like Lycon or Lighter. There it is. There it is. There it is. As you scroll down, there it is. Hold on. I always have no idea how to do this. There it is. There it is. So she doesn't have expert tag anymore. So here's my question now, and maybe they'll say it in the change log. Maybe they'll say it. If you're playing her at a expert level, super sweaty level, you know your stun tech. There's even new stun tech. I literally just posted one today. I just reposted it from Lin. Lin and Kate introduced this new stun tech to the community that involves her and Astra. There's so much tech with this character. I fucking love her. She doesn't have the expert tag. Does that mean? I mean, obviously there's no tier higher than tier 0, right? But it's interesting. It's interesting because it's like, are we saying she's on the same level as Miyabi with Fufu? Like, why is the expert tag gone, right? Obviously it's gone because there's no tier above tier 0, but is she better than Miyabi if you do the expert stuff, right? If you do the super sweaty tech, is she better than Miyabi now? That's the question. Hopefully they address this in the changelog. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Xuan tier 0.5 to T0 and expert and watch list removed. Xuan was already the second best DPS in the game on her release. Now with Fufu in the mix, she approaches Miyabi closer than ever, mostly depending on the enemy and player skill, which impacts what team Miyabi is best used in. They go back and forth in terms of power level, which makes Xuan our second ever DPS to enter T0 since the Void Hunter's release. So they didn't necessarily answer my expert tag, or I guess they kind of did answer it. They said depending on the player's skill, but it is interesting because I believe her best team is going to feature, I mean, their best teams are always going to feature Astra, right? And only one of them can have Astra at a time. So is that her best team now? Wait, I've seen early access say different. What? Are they saying mathematically this is her best team? Is it not Jufu Astra? Am I, what? All the early access I've been seeing. Okay, I guess Jufu's best team is this. They're saying Jufu's best team is, but they have Astra in front, which means you would prefer Astra. That's weird. Maybe it just hasn't been updated? I don't know. I mean, obviously you can free up. This frees up your Astra for your other side, which means if you have both Void Hunters, you're probably chilling for a very, 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 very long time. You know, you're definitely chilling. But interesting. Okay. And then obviously Miyabi, best team. Okay, they don't actually have a best team slot because there's just so many like options, but they all the top ones involve Astra. So I mean, if you do have an M6 Panda, I don't actually have more Xuans than I do Pandas because that's just the way my account rolled, right? But if you have an M6 Panda, that frees up your Astra for sure. And she's so self-sufficient anyway. Like when we checked out the tier list previously, she's so self-sufficient that you don't even really need Astra on our teams. So Trigger moves down. Trigger, okay, someone in my chat said this last time I streamed. Trigger's position in the meta is too dependent on her signature W engine. Obviously the tier list doesn't factor that in. If you don't know, her signature W engine is, it gives you a defense shred, right? It's very similar to Nicole's gravity orb. She has great team flexibility, but the defensive shred makes her provide is a good chunk of the reason why she's so efficient. Without her signature, she's not worth considering in nearly as many teams, and S0 Ambi is her best bet. But she's only in tier 1. Additionally, with Jufu's release, she lost one of her top cases, yeah, in form of Xuan teams, right? She's still, like, she's what I used in my Xuan teams. Obviously, we're gonna try to pull Fufu and see how that goes, but interesting. Anton has the partner tag now, and Anton needs Astra to play at his best, and his optimal play style is doing damage solely via quick assist, which makes him permanently in burst mode thanks to his M1. Okay, Caesar's watch list is on the watch list. Wow, she retains amazing comfort play thanks to her big shield and ability to provide interruption resistance, but she contributes less to the party's damage than other buffers in the current meta, so we're watch listing her with the potential to move to T1 next update. Her main issue is that her shield only buffs the active agent. This is severely impactful as lots of agents operate off field a lot more now, right? And cannot give the attack buff to them. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. Recent stun agents also started providing strong party-wide buffs as well, while simply inflicting higher days than Caesar. Yo, fun fact, if you run the Caesar set with 2-piece stun, you actually stun faster than Ching Yi if the enemy's extremely aggressive and you're constantly parrying them. Actually stun faster. But I don't even know if that's a set they recommend, right? What set do they recommend? Yeah, they recommend Astral Voice now for her. Obviously, I was using Proto with like 2-piece. Is it Shockstar Disco? Maybe it's Shockstar Disco. I think it's the one with the impact. But yeah, interesting. Okay, so yeah, the answer is yes. Xuan does move up to T0, sitting right next to Miyabi, and Jufu's basically T1 outside of Xuan teams. So that's it. Not too much has changed. I did expect Jufu to be. I did expect her to be there. I didn't expect the partner tag, and honestly, I'm not surprised seeing Xuan move up. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts on the tier list. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.